Hey guys, and welcome back to another pickups video, and I'm excited to finally have another one of these to put up. I knew I probably couldn't keep up with a monthly thing, so this is going to be listed as April and half of May pickups. But I have a stack of DVDs, or excuse me, Blu-rays, games, and one CD to show off, and we're going to start with the CD first of all. Because I haven't had a chance to show off any music in a while. I don't pick up as many CDs. I do a lot of download stuff. But I just thought that this was relatively cheap, and I wanted to get this, and this is Jewel's Greatest Hits. I do believe this CD came out in 2013, so it's pretty up to date. As far as her music goes, I've always been a fan of Jewel. I've just never bought any of her CDs. So now I can at least have the best of her songs. Alright, I'll go ahead and get started into the movies that I have to show off. Up first I've got Taken 3, which I've been looking forward to. Now I have the trilogy. I'm going to sit down at some point and try to watch all three in a marathon. And I picked up a movie here called Maps to the Stars. I mainly picked this up because of the cast. It's got like Julianne Moore, John Cusack, Robert Pattinson, and I can't pronounce her name right most of the time, Mia Wasikowska. I've seen her in a few other movies, kind of like her, and it just looked interesting, and it wasn't too expensive, so I jumped on that. This is another movie that's kind of along the same lines. It wasn't too unreasonable in price, and it looks interesting. It's Inherent Vice, a new movie with Joaquin Phoenix. And it has a big cast of its own: Josh Brolin, Owen Wilson, Catherine Waterston, Reese Witherspoon, Benicio del Toro, Jenna Malone, Maya Rudolph, Martin Short are all in it. Directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. I've actually watched the first hour of this. I picked it up one day, and I got about an hour into it and saw that some friends of mine were online playing games, so I stopped, and I haven't went back to finish it, but it was interesting so far. For some reason, it had a Big Lebowski vibe to me, and just like a quirky character and all the quirky people that are around him. So I'm looking forward to getting back into that. Then I got this movie here, Wet Hot American Summer. This movie came out in 2001. Has a big ensemble cast in it. Janine Garofalo, Amy Poehler, Elizabeth Banks, Bradley Cooper, Paul Rudd, Molly Shannon, David Hyde Pierce, Michael Showalter. I've heard a lot about it over the years. It's supposed to be pretty good, kind of like maybe got a little bit of a cult following to it. And it came out on Blu-ray a couple weeks back, so I picked that up. Also on that was there's a code on the back of this to go see either a movie called Trainwreck that I haven't heard of, or Ted 2, which I think I may get that ticket and go see Ted 2 when it comes out. Alright, the next thing I got up here is a movie called The World Wars, and this is a History Channel, History Channel movie based off of a lot of the iconic figures from World War I and II. Roosevelt, Churchill, Stalin, who else on here? Mussolini, Charles de Gaulle, Patton. And due to my recent kind of surge of interest in things like World War II and Vietnam War and all that kind of stuff, I thought I would get this, and this one was also relatively cheap, and I've been eyeballing it ever since it came out last year. So I managed to pick that up. And then my last movie to show off today is well, I don't even know how to explain the phenomenon behind this, or even why I decided that I had to jump in on it. I guess it's just because it's kind of controversial, and I wanted to get in on the phenomenon while it was hot. And that is 50 Shades of Grey, and this is the special Walmart deluxe edition that basically on the inside has like an art book. Let me see if I can show this off here at the same time. In the middle of it all, there's like an art book that's built into the case itself in between the two discs. That didn't really show it off all that well, but you get the picture, I guess. And I've managed to watch it, so I'm actually going to be, even though I said I wasn't going to in the last vlog, I'm probably going to continue to do the videos after I watch a movie, so I'll talk about my thoughts about it at then. Okay, now we'll get into the video games, and I'm going to save these two for the end, and I'll show off these other ones first. So, one 360 game here now. This is Wolfenstein: The New Order. I finally managed to track this down for $20. I've been wanting to check it out for a long time, so excited to have that finally. And I got 3 PS3 games to show off. First up here is Tale of Xillia 2. I have the first one, and even though I haven't played it yet, and I've never played any of the Tales games, I wanted to get this sequel before there was any chance that it might get crazy in price-wise. So there's that. Got that for less than $20. And then I reacquired Watch Dogs for the PS3, which I had when it first came out, and I traded it away for money when I was kind of short on cash. It's the only game that I've really done that in the last couple of years, at least the only one that I didn't want to get rid of, but I just had to. So now I have it back, regardless of its being considered a disappointing game from last year. I wanted it back in my collection. And then here's something I picked up off of Walmart.com for somewhere like right around $8. This is Yakuza Dead Souls, the unusual like spin-off Yakuza game that of course has to do with like zombies and undead and whatnot. I think I only have the first Yakuza game on PS2, but I would kind of like to get all the proper series installments plus this, which I now have. Now the last 2 games I want to show off, I kind of have a little bit of a story, a little bit of a gripe session, if you will. Nothing super major, and I'll explain here as I go. But the first game to show here is Spy vs. Spy for the Xbox. This is for the original Xbox. The PS2 version was canceled and didn't get released, at least not here in North America. I'm not sure if it turned up over in Europe or anything. But in the US, we got the Xbox version. I've been wanting to get this for a long, long time. Now, sadly, I don't have an original Xbox, and this is not a game that got one of the updates on the 360 for backwards compatibility before they stopped doing that. So for right now, this will sit unused in my collection until in which point in time I may get an actual Xbox. But like I said, I'm not too chuffed about that. I'm glad to have this. Now, the story with this is I saw somebody else that I watch on YouTube doing a video, and he had picked this up. And I thought, oh, I haven't looked on eBay for a long time, probably not for over a year, to see what the prices are on this. I don't remember if they were like kind of out there before, but I found this for $17. The little price sticker says $17.95. But it was $17 listed, and the seller had the option for best offer. I never pass up a chance to submit a best offer on those, and I'm not a jerk. I don't say, oh, you got it for $17, I'll offer you $10. I'll go a few dollars off. I figure if I can save myself a few dollars and I don't push it too much, I usually will get those offers accepted. So I submitted that offer, and then the next day I get a counter offer from the seller for $17. And I'm thinking to myself, why do you even have this up with the best offer option if you're going to counter me the exact same price? Well, he had a message along with his counter offer, and he said, I'm not sure if you realize, but I've got a discounted promo going right now. Any order of $15 or more gets 15% off. And he told me, he did the math, it would have come to about $14.45. I had offered $14, and I'm not sure if I mentioned that before, but I offered $14 on it. He said with the discount it'd be about $14.45, and I was like, that's reasonable. There's free shipping, because I always try to go for free shipping deals. So I said, I'm sorry, I apologize, I didn't notice that. It was a little ways down in his listing. I always look at listings for pictures to make sure that pictures of the actual item are there and everything's complete. And I check to see what their rating is and just a few things like that. And then I go on. I don't read. Some eBay sellers just have like a wall of text. And I don't read all of that. It was a little ways down in the description for the item, so I overlooked it. I said, I'm sorry, I went ahead and accepted your counter offer there, but when I went to pay for the item, the place to enter, for the promo was not there. And he responded back the next day saying, I apologize myself. I should have realized that if we did it this way, that was going to come up, would you still like to do this? And I said, yeah, I'd still like to do it. Do you want to refund me if I pay the $17, or do you want to do something differently? I'm not that well versed on that side of it. I've never sold anything on eBay, so I don't know. I figured that was more in his court. And he messaged me back. Like I said, we messaged back and forth a few different times, and it took a couple of days to work this all out. And anyway, I'm trying to make this not as long a story as it's turning out to be. But he said, listen, here's another thought. If you can think of a relatively common title, something that maybe you could flip and sell. Like I said, I don't sell, but this person didn't know it. He's like, if there was some sort of a common title that you could think of, we just basically got this entire video game store's liquidated assets, all these games. He said he had over 1,100 titles to sell. So if you had something you could think of, I'll just throw it in. If you pay the $17, you'll get Spy vs. Spy in that other game. So I thought, okay, like I said, I'm not going to flip anything because I don't sell stuff. I wanted to think of something that would be relatively common that I didn't have in my collection. So I looked through his other items that he had for sale, and I came across Gears of War 2, which is the last game to show here in my pickups video. But the he had this listed on his store for, I believe it was $6.50 with free shipping. And I thought, well, that's not too bad. If this is what he's wanting to offer to me, then it's only going to cost him $3.50 from what he would have made otherwise. So I said, okay, well, how about Gears of War 2? That would be fine. He sent me back another message. At that point, I paid for the game because I was like, that'll be cool. I paid for it. Well, when he sent me back a follow-up message to that, he said, sure, that'd be fine. I'll send you a disc in a disc sleeve of Gears of War 2. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, all right. I guess I must have misunderstood exactly what he was saying. I thought he literally meant what he was selling on his store, but because he had so many games, I guess his offer all along had been a game in a sleeve. He didn't mention that. I'm not going to quibble over a couple of dollars here and there. You know, it's not worth me arguing with the guy or being upset about it or wanting a refund or something. So he sent me that game in an envelope. Well, thankfully I have a handy resource. I was going to show off the card for it, and now I can't find it. That's wonderful. Well, anyway, I do have a handy resource that I go to whenever I get games in discs, or discs without cases, or sometimes a case that doesn't have an instruction manual. And anyway, the company's called Bree Software, and they have their own website, which I think is just breesoftware.com. But that's kind of what they specialize in, is selling cases, cover artwork, instruction manuals, and sometimes even the whole thing, like game included, for relatively cheap. So I got this case, as well as like this map pack insert, other advertisements, and the full manual, and all in really good shape, like really nice shape. It was like $3.79 for this. Unfortunately, I had to take a hit on shipping. It was $5 to ship it, so it cost me almost $9 for this. And if you think about it, a couple extra dollars to this guy, because he was trying to make up the distance on the $17, it cost me more than what it would have cost me to buy this from that original seller. But anyway, like I said, it's not a big deal. It was only a couple dollars. It's not like we were talking 20 or 50 or $100, and I felt like I was really screwed. It was just an interesting to me, an interesting story to tell, and I thought I would share it. Anyway, like I said, I didn't want to make that super long. But that's my pickups for April and like roughly the first half of May. I can think of a few things in the next couple weeks I might want to be picking up, but it'll probably be another month and a half or so before the next pickup video comes along. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed checking out what I picked up, and I'll see you guys in the next video.